Hello, this is Luis G on the Blade Forums as an atheist on USN. This is going to be the hard use video for the CT0801 BRWCF. I know that there's tons of videos on these knives on, how it looks, how it technically should perform, and none of those videos actually use the fucking knife. It's very, very annoying that I see these beautiful knives and nobody uses them. It's crazy. But as you guys can see here, I've reprofiled mine. It's got an extremely thin edge. It's extremely sharp too. Let's take a look. Effortless cutting. It's very, very sharp, and it's got like about, I would probably say a 16-degree angle. I'll go ahead and show you guys exactly what I mean. Hopefully that comes up in camera pretty well. It might even be lower than that. That's where it bites, right there. It's extremely steep angle, and as you guys can see, I've already stabbed the wood a few times. What I wanted to make sure was that the angle wasn't too steep, and it's just going to end up fucking up the edge really bad, but it seems to hold up fine. But same thing as the other one. We got hardwood knots here and there, and I'll try to use them a little bit, but I might not. We'll see, because this is a pretty expensive knife. I don't want to fuck it up really that bad. But as you can see there, I'm trying to fuck up the edge. I'm actually trying to like bend it a little bit, but probably not gonna happen. Edge is still holding up. As you can see, once I've reprofiled this sucker, my gosh, that's a cut now. It used to be a pretty bad cutter, to be perfectly honest. It used to be not that great a performer, but ever since I've reprofiled that sucker to 16 degrees, it really bites into that wood. Take a look. I believe we might have some edge rolling, or it might be dirty, to be honest. Let's take a look. Might just be dirty. But as you can see there, I'm not babying this knife. Let me make sure it's still on. Yeah, alright, good. I was worried there that I might not be on the camera. But one thing that I am noticing is that the lock bar almost immediately travels all the way to the other side. I'm not sure it's a good thing. Still solid. It's very strange. I might have to, I think I'm developing a little bit of play. Nah, looks good. Yeah, it's very strange about this knife. I've noticed that the lock bar can be pushed over. I believe it's because of the steel cutout, steel insert that they insert in there. It does have some play. I've actually not modified it. I've actually tuned it so that it allows for this. Extremely smooth. No blade play at all. No up and down, no side to side. This sucker is smooth. Woo, that was close. But I just want to show that. It's extremely smooth. Flicks out like a champ. But let's keep going. What I have noticed on this knife is that it's completely more, it's less aggressive than the CT. The CT, if you guys remember, I had to end up using gloves, and that was just because, the handle has so much jimping and so much texture that it was tearing up at my hands. But you guys can see there, this knife is performing really well. Now, this is not the same wood that I use for the CT. It's a bit softer in my opinion. It's also a little bit fresher. It's not as dry. The other one had well over a year drying, just drying and drying and drying. So it was pretty tough wood by the time it was all dried up. See this edge, a little test. Still sharp. Ooh, it does snag here and there, but let's go ahead and clean that up. Yeah, still very, very sharp. I am noticing that it may have some edge rolls, or it could be, you know, I don't even know if they're edge rolls or not, because I don't really see the reflection. It might just be from the wood. Sometimes you get left with residue and it snags on paper or whatever. Anyways, I didn't really want to do this video, but I did say I'd do it, so I'm doing it. And I bet you nobody else is going to be using their damn knife like this. Again, some people, they just talk the talk and they don't want to put up some actual use with their knife. And knives are tools, man. They're not meant to be babied. And just to let you guys know, whenever I stab into the wood, I'm prying with the edge, just knocking that wood off. That's why it's coming out flying like crazy. Now, would you ever realistically use your knife for this? Chances are, if you're in a city, you're probably never going to use your knife in this manner. In fact, you probably shouldn't ever have to use your knife in this manner here in the city. When do you need to cut what is this, like maybe a 2-inch by 4-inch? I don't know when, but get that deep in there. Now this is going to be a bit tough, but get in there and cut that shit off. I am extremely surprised how well this edge has held up. So far, so good. You see, I've used M390 from Benchmade. I've used M390 from Spyderco, and I have found that the best M390 so far has been from Benchmade. It's pretty tough. It's got good edge resistance, but it's very, very tough is what I have noticed. At first, when I first got this steel, back whenever I had my Shoki, and my Sarberg, and my, what was the other one? The Contego, in M390, I always thought that M390 was supposed to be a, not a Contego, it was another knife. I'll look it up later and I'll post it in the description. But, I've always thought that M390 was supposed to be, you know, a super high wear steel, when in reality it's actually a super high corrosion resistance, very tough steel, and with edge retention that should be close, if not a little bit above, something like S30B or CPM 154 or any steels in those kinds of performance. So I've never tried actually a CT M390, and in fact, you know, from my previous experience with LMAX, I've owned 6 CT 560, 561s, and the first one that I tested, I found that actually that compared to the other ones, when doing similar testing, the other ones did not receive any edge damage at all. So I don't know if maybe the heat treat on that was off, and that skewed the results. But in this case, it looks like they got the heat treat pretty well done. Because if I'm not mistaken, once I started doing this with the LMAX steel on the CT 561, it ended up starting to chip and have little issues here and there. But let's go ahead and keep going. Let's go ahead and pry with the tip. So I've noticed that I've been using mostly the inside edge. There we go. Yeah, I might have a better clean to do. Now, another thing I noticed when I was having this earlier is that it doesn't go deep enough to pry the wood open. So I do apologize for that. I wish it did, but it is what it is. But hope you guys are liking the video so far. I know I am enjoying this. There's just something so primal about hacking shit, cutting shit, that I'm really enjoying this. The reason I'm doing this is because I can't seem to get a good enough control on the edge, on the tip, like around this area, whenever I'm trying to hack. So by doing this, while holding it loosely, I'm pretty much allowing the edge to strike even at an angle, something like that. And hopefully testing the edge there, seeing if it will deform or have any issues. We're gonna get that cleaned off. Now here I need to be careful that I don't slip and end up cutting myself. But yeah, I've noticed that a lot of these knives, man, they're not getting used at all. CT77s, anything that's limited edition from CT, man, I've noticed that people just buy them, put them in safes, resell them, flip them. And that's the majority, like, that's not the majority, that's a lot of people doing that. And some people might be using them, but again, I doubt anybody on YouTube is going to grab a CT limited edition and do this shit. Now this is obviously synthetic use. I don't actually have a need to break this shit down. I just don't have a need for it. I'm just doing it to showcase what the knife can handle. And this is, again, this is with the reprofiled edge, 16 degrees per side or so, maybe even steeper than that. You know, but I have a little stupid edge tool that can let me know kind of what the edge is. And according to that, it's like 16, but it's not very accurate. It's not like an angle cube. Once I do get an angle cube though, I'll be able to let you guys know exactly what that edge angle is. But this is a much aggressive angle for cutting. go ahead and stop here and check for edge damage. Let me go ahead and clean this edge off. And just so you guys can see there, it's not a fake. This is not a CT801. I mean, it's a CT801 limited edition run. Ooh, my goodness. We got a lot of play. An insane amount of play. That's crazy. That's insane. Now we'll see if the screw just loosened or if something got fucked up in there. But we'll put some alcohol in there, break down any kind of wood shit that may be in there. Grab us a clean shop towel, clean that off. Clean the edge off. I think we could see some minor edge damage there. Let's see if we can get this shit to focus properly. But yeah, you can see some edge damage all along the edge. And we did some work on this wood. It wasn't too long. It wasn't like the CT560 where I stayed at it for a while, but it took away some wood. And this is a folder knife. It's not a large 8 or 9 inch fixed blade that could just chew through that in about 2 seconds. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys have any other videos you want to see of this knife being used and put to the test, let me know. I got no issues using it. Now I won't abuse the shit out of it like I did the CT561, because this knife is not cheap. But if it's something reasonable like that, yeah, I'll do it. Anyway, see ya.